What is up, people of the internet? Welcome back to Flywheel Films. I've been having some shifting issues. I just got back from a beautiful cruise up in the mountains, and my experience was colored by the fact that I am just not happy with this shifting experience. What is happening, which may be happening to you, is I have the short throw shifter kit from Cobalt, which is awesome, but it is very tight, like really tight. Not just notchy. Notchy is expected, but overly tight, and I'm having issues with getting into first, second, and reverse gears. But by some miracle, I have fixed everything. Here's what happened.
So Chris here, my old roommate, he's in town from Utah. Do you miss it?
I miss Colorado so much. Yeah. Continue. Just continue.
Before he starts crying, tearing up. He drives a manual Outback, so I can actually get your input. Sick car, by the way. I'm not even agree to sell it, but you know, manual for the win. This basically, first gear and second gear are really hard, and subsequently reverse, which is pushing down up, and it like has to like pop up for a second. Yeah, that's not normal. You try it. You can't even get it. There we go.
Yes. That's way different than whatever.
And second, same way.
Dude, that is.
You can't even get it.
Dude, break it?
Yeah, you can't like push down at all. It's really finicky. I've gotten like
there we go.
okay at driving with it like this, but it's bad and it's getting frustrating. Third, fourth, fifth, and sixth are fine. It's just first and second and reverse. Reverse is getting really annoying too.
Better. Yeah,
so
you can't push down at all.
But it's frustrating. Even in motion, it's like typically even worse. So the issue, I think, is the reverse lockout plate. That's what it's called. I have to thank Israel Karanzap. I'll throw his Instagram on the screen right here. He actually watched my short throw shifter installation video, like zoomed in and saw my reverse lockout plate condition and said, hey, that looks familiar. Here's your issue. I think that's the issue. We'll find out. I ordered the part, it just arrived. Let's get it installed. So, as I said, this just arrived. I want to thank Isra for showing me what it was, and I want to thank Mike from NC Miata for pointing me to Mazda parts. I think it's like a Mazda dealership in Alabama. They shipped me the part pretty darn quick too. So, here's the part number. It's actually a, I guess, cover. Mazda actually classifies that as a cover, I think. So, it's kind of a weird situation. It's a reverse lockout plate. Mazda identifies as a cover. I called a couple of dealerships. They were actually confused at first. But it's an easy part. It was like 20 or 30 or 40 bucks, whatever. It depends on shipping, where it comes from. It's really lightweight, and hopefully this is my problem. So we're just gonna do a really quick installation. This is gonna be a pretty quick and simple video, and hopefully just a clear fix of what's going on. The car is nice and dirty we just did like a 10-mile dirt road, which was awesome, through like construction zones and stuff, way out in the foothills of Colorado. And yeah, it was getting really annoying, A, behind this truck that was doing 5 miles an hour, B, because I was shifting between first and second, and I was just freaking over it. So the installation is gonna be basically the same as my short throw shifter kit video, so go watch that for like really in-depth stuff, but enjoy the time lapse in the meantime. Right, so taking the center console off, I've shown that like multiple videos, it's pretty straightforward, and now I don't even blink twice. Got to here, these were actually somewhat finger tight, and also something to note, we just finished driving, so everything is hot. So be careful, that's your warning there. And yeah, these were pretty loose, so I may have to tighten them a bit more. But just taking these bolts out, and this, what I'm unscrewing right now, is the reverse lockout plate. So the new thing should replace this. And as you can see in here, that's pretty like worn through, like pretty badly, which would explain, yeah. So Isra, when he noticed my video, he kind of saw this from the camera angle way over here, which is impressive. But he saw that there was quite a bit of wear on it. And that would explain why there's like little bits of black plastic shavings, because it's kind of a plastic piece. So I'm gonna discard this and put in new one.
I'm surprised how big this box was. Like, honestly, this is a tiny piece that weighs also nothing. So there's that, and it's just in there by itself. Good thing it's durable. So yeah, shout out to Mike at NC Miata who suggested I order from this place, because he had also just ordered one and also confirmed Eastford's theory that that's probably what was going on. And this looks perfect. Let me actually show you this other one in comparison. Side by side. You can see wear along the insides here of both. And then on the underside, this one's worn a lot. This one's obviously brand new. So we'll see if that fixes it. I'm kind of hopeful. And honestly, while I'm doing this, I might try to cut a really quick spacer just to see if that fixes the weird like issues. Because if you guys remember in my short throw installation video, it was super notchy, like over the top notchy, which is why I loosened those bolts a bit to make it much easier to shift. So we'll see. This whole thing's this whole car is an experience. All right, so everything's done. Every time I forget to plug in the window switches, but now I can do it like without even looking because I've done it so many times. But yeah, give her a shift, see.
Wow, it's so much cleaner.
So it's still very notchy, and it is tighter than it was before.
It's tighter.
Because I put the bolts in tighter. So what I might do later is like add a bit more spacer between there, because that's definitely what is causing that. But first, second just work, and then reverse is just, it just works. I don't know if it was filming or not, but when I did this, but I added more grease to the actual pivot pin. So hopefully this works better. I don't know. Like I said, this whole car is just an experiment. Whatever. Life's an experiment. Let's get real philosophical here.
Too philosophical. Back it up, cars.
Cars, okay. Fire it up. Let's see how this thing actually shifts. It's tight, but it shifts.
It's tight.
1 to 2 felt good, right?
It felt much better.
So now there's no question what gear we're in. It's just
Very, very tight.
very tight. Which, yeah, like I said last time, it kind of worked itself out over time, but I still think I am gonna do a bit more work on that. It's so great to have someone who can drive stick.
You think? Oh my god, it's hit by a car.
Right, so now I'm driving and throw it into second. Wow, it's tight. Woo! The issue is resolved. The first and second and reverse crappy whatever was happening is fixed. So I don't really understand the physics of this. If someone wants to explain that to me, go be my guest. But the reverse lockout plate was definitely the issue. Good freaking beer. I may be preaching to the choir here, but this is a must-have for Colorado, or really part of the country, I think. Getting buy one, get one free at every spot in this book. Phenomenal. New and improved short throw shifter. I mean, it's not the short throw that's the problem. It's really the lockout plate that was the issue. So that's fixed. I now no longer have to fight to get into second gear, first gear, and reverse gear, but it's still tight, so. Day 2. After driving around for a bit, it did loosen up a tiny bit, but it's still freaking tight. So, trying to do what we thought we might want to do, we just took the tape off of this because the tape did basically nothing. And instead, I was useful and used part of the box the part came in to cut a stencil perfectly of this like
reverse lockout plate. So I'm gonna see what this gap does in terms of the shifter feel once I reinstall it now. Right, so upon further review, we had the spacer between these two parts, which now that I think about it, does nothing. So move the spacer underneath the like spacer thing that the short throw shifter comes with. So it is now inside here. That, in theory, should add a tiny bit more space to allow the ball to move a bit more freely. So now we'll try that, see if it works. I don't know. That was for sure it. I mean, I just reinstalled it and I did this, and Chris immediately was like, that's so much better. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the spacer goes below the lifting block, and just a little bit of cardboard did so much. So let's take it for a drive and see if it works.
Race car time. We're gonna go see if this shifter actually works. But so far, oh my gosh, it's like, feel that. Vroom, vroom. Vroom, vroom. Right, so this is like night and day better. I mean, this goes to first like that, second, third, back to second. There's like no doubt, there's no like super hard forcing it. It's still very nasty, but that's the nature of the Cobalt short throw shifter kit. But it actually feels like it should have right after I installed it. So that probably honestly speaks to the thickness of the spacer that they use in this kit is just not quite thick enough. Like, it's close, and all I had to do was add that little bit of cardboard, but it feels so freaking good. I am thrilled.
Are you 5'8" or something?
On a good day.
On a good day.
Maybe. Wow.
Just immediately noticeable.
Immediately, yeah. Right there. Silky smooth. Comparative.
Comparative.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so much nicer. You're not forcing it. It's still, yeah, a little jerky, but like, it's still very clean.
Yeah, very notchy, but that's part of the shifter. It's actually workable now instead of fighting it.
Yeah. It feels like way more natural. It's like really in your shoulder.
I'm thrilled.
Final thoughts. It works. Driving around helmets is fun. I should get a motorcycle or something. But yeah, dude, I'm thrilled. This is how it should have been after the actual short throw install. So I did install it correctly. It's not my fault. My reverse lockout plate was indeed not in true proper order. So first, second, and reverse actually work now. And now the whole shifting experience is actually doable. Like, I'm not fighting the car anymore. I'm enjoying it. So, you know, that's any thoughts?
Yeah, those two changes were very significant in regards to the whole changing gears experience. So
Yeah,
yeah,
manual's always the answer. Anyways, I'll drink to that.
always.